Listen carefully. Mental toughness is not something you're born with, it's something you build. Right now, your life is shaped by how you react under pressure. When things get hard, do you fold or do you focus? This audiobook will show you how elite performers train their minds to stay disciplined, calm, and unstoppable. No motivation, no hype, just a system. If you master this skill, nothing can break you. If you don't, everything will. Let's begin. If you want more strategies to master your mind, build discipline, and become unstoppable, hit that subscribe button now. Don't wait, your future self will thank you. Chapter 1. Stop waiting for confidence, build it through action. Listen to me. Confidence is not a gift. It is not something you wake up with. It is not something you wait for. Confidence is a result. That's the key. You don't feel confident first. You act first. Then confidence shows up later. But most people get this backward. They sit around, they wait, they tell themselves, when I feel ready, I'll start. When I feel confident, I'll try. When I feel motivated, I'll move. And that day never comes because confidence doesn't come from thinking, it comes from doing. Action builds confidence, waiting destroys it. Say that again. Action builds confidence, waiting destroys it. You have a choice every single day. You can either act or you can wait. And every time you wait, you train your brain to stay weak. You train yourself to hesitate. You train yourself to doubt. That's the real danger, not failure, not embarrassment, not mistakes. The real danger is inaction. You don't need their permission. You don't need perfect timing. You don't need to feel ready. You just need to move. Look at elite athletes. They don't wake up confident. They wake up disciplined. They train when they're tired. They train when they're sore. They train when they don't feel like it. And after months, after years, confidence shows up. Not because they hoped for it, but because they earned it. Action builds confidence. Waiting destroys it. That's the formula. Simple, brutal, effective. Now let me ask you something. How many times have you said, I'll start tomorrow? I'll try next week. I just need to feel ready first. That's fear talking, not logic, not intelligence. Fear of looking stupid, fear of failing, fear of judgment, fear of being exposed. And here's the truth. You will look stupid sometimes. You will fail sometimes. You will be judged sometimes. So what? You have a choice. Stay comfortable and small or uncomfortable and growing. That's the key. It's not about talent, it's about discipline, it's not about luck, it's about consistency, it's not about confidence, it's about action. Confidence is the reward for action, not the requirement. You don't need their permission to start. You don't need approval, you don't need applause, you need movement. Right now, start messy, start scared, start unsure, just start. Because every rep counts, every attempt matters, every step forward builds belief. Action builds confidence, waiting destroys it. Your brain is a machine, it learns from behavior. When you take action, your brain says, oh, we're capable. Oh, we can handle this. Oh, we survived. And with every repetition, your identity changes. You stop seeing yourself as someone who waits. You start seeing yourself as someone who acts. That's real power, not motivation. Identity. You don't need to feel confident to lift the weight. You lift the weight to become confident. You don't need confidence to speak up. You speak up to build confidence. You don't need confidence to start the business, go to the gym, fix your life. You start to earn it. That's the system. Now listen carefully. Confidence is built in private, not in public. It's built when nobody is watching. Early mornings, late nights, silent work. That's where belief is created. You have a choice. You can keep telling stories or you can start building proof. Proof beats feelings. Every time your feelings lie, your actions don't. If you want to feel confident, give yourself evidence. Evidence comes from effort, from showing up, from finishing what you start, not once, not twice, every day. That's the key. Let me give you a simple rule. Never trust how you feel. Trust what you do. Feel tired, do it anyway. Feel scared, do it anyway. Feel unmotivated, do it anyway. Discipline doesn't care how you feel. Discipline shows up. That's why discipline beats motivation every time. Action builds confidence. Waiting destroys it. You don't need perfect conditions. You need commitment. Stop negotiating with yourself. Stop making excuses. Stop delaying your life. You have a choice. Every excuse you make is a vote for weakness. Every action you take is a vote for strength. Choose wisely. Start small if you must, but start 5 push-ups. One page, one call, one step. Momentum builds belief, small wins stack, small actions compound. And one day you look back and realize you're not the same person. That's growth. You didn't wake up confident, you became confident because you moved when it was hard, you showed up when it was uncomfortable, you acted when you were afraid. That's courage, not loud, not dramatic, quiet, daily, relentless. That's the person you're becoming, but only if you choose action. You don't need their permission, you don't need validation. You don't need approval, you need to start now because waiting is a habit and habits shape your future. If you wait today, you'll wait tomorrow. If you act today, you'll act tomorrow. Your future is built by what you repeat. Repeat action. Action builds confidence. Waiting destroys it. Remember that, tattoo it in your mind. Confidence is not a feeling, it's a result. And results come from work. You mastered this chapter's lesson. You stopped waiting, you started moving. Good. But movement alone is not enough. You also need to break free from what's holding you back, your comfort zone, and that's exactly where we're going next. You mastered action, now let's destroy comfort. Chapter 2, Your comfort zone is your prison. Listen carefully. Your comfort zone is not your friend. It feels safe. It feels familiar. But it is silently killing your potential. That's the key. Comfort does not build you. Comfort weakens you. Comfort keeps you small. And here is the truth most people avoid. If it's comfortable, it's controlling you. Say it again. If it's comfortable, it's controlling you. You have a choice. Stay comfortable or grow, but you cannot have both. Growth only lives in discomfort, not in routine, not in ease, not in what you already know. Growth lives where it's hard, where it's awkward, where it's uncertain. That's where strength is built. Look around. People stay in bad jobs, not because they love them, but because they're familiar. People stay in toxic relationships, not because they're happy, but because they're scared to be alone. People keep bad habits, not because they enjoy them, but because change feels uncomfortable. That's the trap. Familiar pain feels safer than unfamiliar growth. That's the prison, and most people don't even realize they're locked inside. They call it being realistic. They call it playing safe. They call it just how life is. No, it's fear. Fear dressed as comfort. You have a choice every day. Stay where you are or step into who you could become. That's the key. If it's comfortable, it's controlling you. Your comfort zone is a cage you decorated yourself. You made it cozy. You made it familiar. You told yourself stories. At least it's stable. At least I know what to expect. At least it's not that bad. But listen to me. Not that bad is the most dangerous sentence you will ever say because it keeps you stuck. You don't need their permission to want more. You don't need approval to leave what no longer serves you. You don't need to explain why you're changing. This is your life, and your future does not live inside your comfort zone. It lives outside. That's where growth waits. Let me be clear, discomfort is not punishment. Discomfort is training. Every time you choose hard, you get stronger. Every time you choose easy, you get weaker. It's not about talent, it's about discipline. It's not about luck, it's about courage. Courage to step into discomfort. That's the key. Your muscles grow by tearing. Your mind grows by stress. Your life grows by challenge, no pressure, no progress. If it's comfortable, it's controlling you. Look at the people you admire, high performers, leaders, winners. They live in discomfort, early mornings, hard conversations, relentless effort. They don't wait for things to feel easy. They choose difficulty on purpose. Because they understand something, easy now, hard later. Hard now, easy later. You choose, that's the equation. Comfort feels good today, but it steals your tomorrow. Discomfort hurts today, but it builds your future. You have a choice. What are you avoiding right now? The workout, the conversation, the risk, the change? That's exactly where you need to go. Because the thing you're avoiding is the thing shaping your destiny. That's the key. Stop running from discomfort. Start using it. When it feels hard, say good. When it feels scary, say good. When it feels unfamiliar, say good. Because that means you're growing. That means you're evolving. That means you're stepping outside the prison. You don't need their permission to leave your comfort zone. You don't need validation. You don't need applause. You need action. Right now, make yourself uncomfortable on purpose. Cold showers, hard workouts, difficult tasks, honest conversations. Train your mind to embrace discomfort because life will bring pain anyway. So choose productive pain. Pain that builds you, not pain that traps you. That's the key. Most people wait for discomfort to find them. Winners seek it. They train under pressure so real life feels easier. They create challenges so they're ready for chaos. They don't hide, they lean in. You have a choice. Be the person who runs from discomfort or the person who grows because of it. Identity matters. If you see yourself as someone who avoids hard things, you will always stay small. But if you see yourself as someone who faces difficulty, your entire life changes. That's power, not comfort. Power, if it's comfortable, it's controlling you. So ask yourself, where am I too comfortable? Where am I settling? Where am I playing small? That's where you need to attack. That's where you need to grow, because comfort is a drug. It feels good, it numbs you, and slowly it kills your ambition. Wake up. Your potential is bigger than your routine. Your future is bigger than your fear, but you will never see it if you stay where you are. You have a choice. Step out or stay stuck. There is no neutral. No standing still. You're either growing or decaying. That's the truth. Now listen closely. Discomfort is temporary. Regret is permanent. Temporary pain or permanent disappointment. Choose. That's the key. Your comfort zone didn't build your dreams. Your comfort zone didn't change your life. Action did. Risk did. Discomfort did. So stop protecting what's holding you back. Burn the bridge. Make the move. Take the risk. You don't need their permission. This is your life, and you only get one. If it's comfortable, it's controlling you. Remember that. You mastered action in the last chapter. You stopped waiting. You started moving. Now you've learned something deeper. Movement is not enough. You must move into discomfort. That's where mental toughness is built. That's where strength is forged. And now that you understand this, it's time to talk about the skill that keeps you moving even when it hurts. Discipline. You broke out of comfort. Now let's build consistency. Chapter 3, Discipline beats motivation every time. Listen to me. Motivation is a liar. It shows up when life is easy. It disappears when things get hard. That's the truth. Motivation comes and goes, but discipline stays. That's the key. If you wait to feel motivated, you will stay stuck forever, because you will never feel motivated every single day. Some days you'll feel tired, some days bored, some days angry, some days lazy. So what? Discipline is doing it anyway. Say it again. Discipline is doing it anyway. You have a choice. Follow your feelings or follow your standards. Feelings change, standards don't. That's power. Look at top performers, athletes, CEOs, military, champions. They don't work when they feel good. They work because it's time to work. Rain or shine, happy or sad, motivated or not, they show up. That's discipline. It's not about mood, it's about commitment. It's not about excitement, it's about consistency. It's not about motivation, it's about discipline. That's the key. You don't need their permission to be disciplined. You don't need applause. You don't need encouragement. You need standards, rules for yourself. I train every day. I read every day. I work on my goals every day. No negotiations, because the moment you start negotiating with yourself, you lose. Your weak side will always win the argument. That's why discipline matters. Discipline is structure. Structure creates freedom. Most people want freedom but hate structure. They want results without routine. That doesn't work. Freedom is built on discipline. That's the key. Let me make this clear. Motivation is emotional. Discipline is logical. Motivation depends on how you feel. Discipline depends on who you are. Identity matters. If you see yourself as a disciplined person, you will act disciplined. If you see yourself as someone who waits to feel motivated, you will stay average. You have a choice. Who are you becoming? Now listen carefully. Discipline is not punishment. Discipline is self-respect. When you keep promises to yourself, you build trust with yourself. And self-trust is real confidence. That's the key. Every time you quit, you break a promise. Every time you skip, you teach yourself you can't be trusted. That's dangerous. Because if you don't trust yourself, who will? Discipline is doing it anyway. Tired? Do it anyway. Bored? Do it anyway. Unmotivated? Do it anyway. That's the difference between winners and losers. Winners act. Losers wait. You don't need their permission to work hard. You don't need validation. This is your life, now let me give you real instructions. Stop chasing motivation, delete the quotes, stop watching hype video, stop waiting to feel ready. Build a schedule and follow it. Train at the same time every day, work at the same time every day, sleep at the same time every day. Routine creates discipline, that's the key. Your mind loves patterns. When you repeat behavior, it becomes automatic. No emotion needed. Just action, that's real power. Most people fail because they rely on motivation. They start strong, then they disappear. Gym in January, gone by February, big goals, zero consistency. Why? No discipline, you have a choice, be emotional or be effective. Feelings don't build futures, habits do, that's the key. Discipline is boring, good, boring builds greatness. Repetition, same work, same grind, day after day, that's how you win. There is no secret, no shortcut, just discipline. Discipline is doing it anyway. You don't need their permission to outwork everyone. You don't need to explain why you're focused. Let them laugh, let them doubt. They will respect you later, but only if you stay consistent. Now hear this, discipline hurts, of course it does. Growth always hurts, but regret hurts more. Discomfort now or disappointment later. Choose, that's the key. You have a choice, hit snooze or get up. Skip the workout or train. Scroll social media or work on your future. Every small decision is shaping your identity. Choose discipline, because identity is destiny. You are becoming what you repeatedly do, so repeat discipline. Discipline is doing it anyway. Let me be direct. Nobody is coming to save you. No one will force you to work. No one will push you to train. No one will build your dreams. That's on you. That's the key. Self-discipline is self-leadership. If you can't control yourself, life will control you. Other people will control you. Circumstances will control you, but when you're disciplined, you decide, you take charge. That's mental toughness. You don't need their permission to take control of your life. You don't need approval. You need action every day, not when it feels good, when it feels hard, especially when it feels hard. That's where growth happens. Now listen, discipline is a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. Start small, make your bed, drink water, train for 10 minutes. Keep promises, build momentum. Momentum builds belief. Belief builds identity. Identity builds destiny. That's the system. That's the key. Stop waiting for perfect conditions. Perfect conditions don't exist. Act in chaos, act in stress, act in discomfort. That's real discipline. Discipline is doing it anyway. Tattoo that in your mind. When your mind says stop, you say continue. When your body says tired, you say stronger. When life says quit, you say not today. That's mental toughness. You mastered comfort, you broke free. Now you're learning to stay consistent. Good, but discipline alone is not enough. You must also control what happens inside your head, your thoughts, because your mind can be your biggest enemy or your greatest weapon. You built discipline, now it's time to master your thoughts. Chapter 4. Control your mind or it will control you. Listen closely. Your mind is either your weapon or your enemy. There is no middle ground. Your thoughts shape your actions shape your life. That's the key. If you don't control your mind, it will control you. And most people are slaves to their own thoughts. They believe every voice in their head, every doubt, every fear, every excuse. That's dangerous. You are not your thoughts, you choose them. Say it again, you are not your thoughts, you choose them. You have a choice. Believe the weakness or command your mind. Your brain produces thousands of thoughts every day. Most are useless. Many are negative, some are straight lies, and you accept them without question. I'm not good enough. I can't do this. I'll fail. They're better than me. Stop. That's not truth. That's programming, and you can reprogram it. That's the key. Negative self-talk destroys progress before it even starts. Before you take action, you quit in your head. Before you try, you already failed mentally. That's why control matters. You don't need their permission to think strong. You don't need validation to believe in yourself. You decide what thoughts you accept. You have a choice. Let me make it clear. Thoughts are suggestions, not commands. Just because you think it doesn't mean it's true. Just because you feel it doesn't mean you must follow it. You choose. That's power. You are not your thoughts. You choose them. Your mind is like a wild horse. If you don't control it, it runs anywhere. But when you train it, it carries you to victory. That's mental toughness. Most people let their mind run negative all day. They replay failures. They imagine worst-case scenarios. They doubt their abilities. And then they wonder why they feel weak. You become what you think about. That's the law. If you think weak, you act weak. If you think strong, you act strong. Thoughts shape actions. Actions shape life. That's the key. So here's the question. What are you feeding your mind? Drama, fear, doubt, negativity, or strength? Focus. Discipline. You have a choice. Stop consuming garbage. Stop watching content that makes you anxious. Stop listening to people who drain you. Stop repeating stories that keep you small. Protect your mind. Because your mind is your future, you don't need their permission to guard your thoughts. This is your life. Now listen carefully. You must challenge your thoughts. When your mind says, I can't, you say, prove it. When it says, I'm tired, you say, so what? When it says, quit, you say, not today. That's discipline. It's not about feelings, it's about control. It's not about comfort, it's about command. That's the key. Your mind will always choose easy. You must choose hard. Your mind will always seek comfort. You must seek growth. That's the battle, and it's daily. You have a choice. Win the war inside or lose your future outside, because every external result starts internally. Let me give you a tool. Every time a negative thought appears, replace it. I'm weak becomes I'm getting stronger. I can't becomes I'm learning. I'll fail becomes I'll try again. You rewire your mind through repetition, just like discipline. That's the key. You don't need motivation, you need mental control. Because motivation starts in the mind. If your thoughts are weak, your drive will be weak. If your thoughts are strong, your actions will follow. You are not your thoughts, you choose them. Tattoo that in your brain. Now let's talk reality. Your mind will lie to you when things get hard. It will say, stop, rest, quit. That voice is comfort, and comfort is your enemy. Remember, if it's comfortable, it's controlling you. Your mind will always try to protect you from pain, but pain is where growth lives. So don't listen blindly. Control your mind. That's mental toughness. You have a choice, be a victim of your thoughts or the commander of them. That's the key. Let me be direct. Nobody successful has a perfect mindset. They just manage it better. They feel fear, they feel doubt, they feel insecurity, but they don't obey it. They act anyway. That's discipline. It's not about confidence, it's about control. You don't wait to feel strong, you act strong, and your mind follows. Action trains your mind. Your mind trains your actions. It's a cycle. Control it. That's the key. Now I want you to practice this. For the next 24 hours, watch your thoughts. Every negative thought, catch it, challenge it, replace it. Do not let it slide. Because every unchecked thought becomes a belief. Beliefs become behavior. Behavior becomes destiny. You choose. You are not your thoughts. You choose them. Stop saying, that's just how I am. No, that's how you trained yourself. And you can retrain yourself. That's power. Your past thoughts built your present life. Your future thoughts will build your future life. Choose wisely. You don't need their permission to think differently. You don't need approval to change your mindset. This is your responsibility. Now listen carefully. Mental toughness is self-control, not anger, not aggression. Control your reactions, control your words, control your thoughts. Because if you control your mind, you control your life. That's the key. You've learned to act without waiting for confidence. You've learned to step outside your comfort zone. You've learned to stay disciplined. Now you're mastering your mind. Good, but there is one more test. Pressure, because when pressure hits, everything you've learned gets challenged. And that's where champions are made. You controlled your mind. Now let's use pressure to sharpen it. Chapter 5. Pressure is a privilege. Use it. Listen to me. Pressure is not your enemy. Pressure is your training ground. That's the key. Weak minds avoid pressure. Strong minds seek it. Because pressure reveals who you are. Pressure exposes your habits. Pressure shows your level. And here is the truth. Pressure sharpens the blade. Say it again. Pressure sharpens the blade. You have a choice. Run from pressure or rise because of it. Pressure means you are in a position to grow. No pressure, no responsibility, no expectations, no future. Pressure is a privilege. Only people with goals feel pressure. Only people with dreams feel pressure. Only people chasing something bigger feel pressure. If you feel pressure, congratulations, it means you're alive, it means you're trying, it means you're in the arena, that's the key. Look at high performers, athletes, soldiers, CEOs, surgeons, they train under pressure. Why? So real life feels easier. They practice in chaos. They work when it's loud, they push when it hurts. So when the real moment comes, they are calm. Pressure sharpens the blade. Most people crack under pressure because they avoid it in training. They live easy, so life feels hard. Winners live hard, so life feels easier. You choose, that's the equation. Easy now, hard later. Hard now, easy later. Pressure now, power later. You have a choice. Stop seeing pressure as a threat. Start seeing it as preparation. That's mental toughness. Pressure is life asking, who are you really? Are you disciplined or emotional? Are you focused or distracted? Are you strong or soft? Pressure reveals the truth. You don't need their permission to face pressure. You don't need validation to challenge yourself. This is your life, now listen carefully. Most people complain about pressure, deadlines, expectations, responsibilities, but what they really want is an easy life. And easy lives create weak minds, that's the truth. You want a strong mind, embrace pressure, seek challenges, take responsibility, raise your standards, that's the key. Pressure sharpens the blade, steel becomes strong under heat, diamonds form under pressure. And you grow under challenge, so stop wishing for an easier life. Wish for a stronger mind, because pressure is not the problem, your reaction to it is. You have a choice. Complain or compete, collapse or rise, excuses or execution. Choose execution, that's the key. Let me give you real instructions. Start putting yourself under pressure on purpose. Timed workouts, deadlines, public goals, hard commitments. Train your mind to perform under stress. So when life hits, you don't panic, you perform, that's power. Most people avoid pressure, they hide. They procrastinate, they delay, and pressure builds up. Then it explodes, that's why they break. But strong minds deal with pressure early. They face it daily, small pressure every day, so big pressure doesn't scare them. That's the system, that's the key. Pressure sharpens the blade. If you want to be dangerous, become comfortable being uncomfortable. Train in silence. Train when it's hard. Train when nobody cares. So when the moment comes, you dominate. You don't need their permission to push yourself. You don't need applause. Your growth is your reward. Now listen, pressure creates focus. When pressure is real, distractions disappear. You don't scroll, you don't waste time, you execute. Pressure makes you sharp, that's why winners love it. Pressure forces you to level up. New skills, better habits, stronger mindset. Pressure upgrades you if you use it right. That's the key. Most people let pressure break them. Strong minds let pressure build them. Which one are you? You have a choice. Break or build. Victim or warrior, fear or fire. Choose fire. Pressure sharpens the blade. Now hear this. Pressure is temporary. Growth is permanent. The pain will pass. The strength will stay, so stop running. Lean in. When it feels heavy, smile, because you're getting stronger. When it feels intense, breathe, because you're leveling up. That's mental toughness. You don't need their permission to face pressure head-on. This is your journey. And every challenge is shaping you. Now think about your life. Where are you avoiding pressure? Responsibility, the conversation, the risk, the work, that's exactly where you need to go because pressure is calling you higher. That's the key. You want confidence, earn it under pressure. You want discipline, test it under pressure. You want mental toughness, forge it under pressure. There is no other way. Comfort will never build you. Pressure will. Pressure sharpens the blade. Tattoo that in your mind. Now remember what you've learned so far. You stopped waiting for confidence. You left your comfort zone. You built discipline, you controlled your mind. Now pressure tests it all. This is where boys become men, where average becomes elite, where dreams become real. Pressure separates talkers from doers. When things get hard, most quit. When things get hard, you lock in. That's the difference. That's the key. So the next time you feel pressure, don't complain. Say thank you. Because pressure is making you better. Pressure is building your future. Pressure is sharpening your blade. You have a choice. Use pressure. Or let it use you. Use it to grow. Use it to focus. Use it to dominate, that's mental toughness. You mastered pressure, you stopped running, you lined in, good, but now comes an even harder test, your emotions, because pressure exposes emotions, and emotions can ruin everything if you don't control them. You learn to face pressure. Now it's time to master your reactions. Chapter 6. Stop reacting, start responding. Listen to me. Your reactions are costing you power. Every emotional outburst, every angry reply, every impulsive decision, you give away control. That's the key. Emotional reactions make you weak. Controlled responses make you dangerous. Powerful, respected. Say it with me. Pause, think, then act. Again, pause, think, then act. You have a choice. React like everyone else or respond like a leader. Most people react. Someone insults them, they explode. Something goes wrong, they panic. Life doesn't go their way, they complain. That's weakness. Strong minds respond, they pause. They observe, they choose their move. That's power. You don't need their permission to stay calm. You don't need validation to control yourself. This is discipline. It's not about anger, it's about control. It's not about emotion, it's about discipline. That's the key. Look at great leaders. They don't scream, they don't rush, they don't lose control. They speak slowly, they think clearly, they stay calm. And because they stay calm, people listen. Calm leaders win arguments without raising their voice. Because emotion is noise, control is authority. You have a choice: be loud or be effective. Shout or strategize, react or respond. Choose response. That's the key. Your emotions are natural, but they are not in charge. You are. Just because you feel angry doesn't mean you act angry. Just because you feel offended doesn't mean you attack. Just because you feel stressed doesn't mean you quit. You choose. You are not your emotions. You control them. That's mental toughness. Pause, think, then act. Tattoo that in your mind. Now listen carefully. Every time you react emotionally, you lose leverage, you say things you regret, you burn bridges, you look weak, and people learn something. They learn how to control you. They learn what triggers you, and once someone knows your triggers, they own you. That's dangerous. So stop giving people power, control your reactions. That's the key. Here is a rule: never make decisions when you are emotional. Angry, wait. Sad, wait. Excited, wait. Emotions distort reality, so pause, think. Then act. That's discipline, that's control, that's leadership. You don't need their permission to step back. You don't need to respond instantly. Silence is strength. Let them talk, let them react. You stay composed because calm wins always. Now let me give you real instructions. The moment you feel triggered, stop. Breathe, count to 5, create space. That space is power. In that space you choose, you don't react, you respond. That's the difference. Reaction is automatic, response is intentional. Intentional people win in life, that's the key. Your reaction today can destroy your future tomorrow. One angry message, one impulsive decision, one emotional moment, and everything changes. So slow down. Your future deserves control. You have a choice: be ruled by emotion or ruled by discipline. Choose discipline. It's not about being cold, it's about being controlled. Controlled people run the world. Uncontrolled people are slaves to feelings. Which one are you? That's the question. Pause, think, then act. Now think about your life. Where do you react? At work, in relationships, on social media. Someone says something, you explode. Someone disagrees, you attack. That's weakness. Strong minds don't get pulled into drama, they rise above it. They see the bigger picture. They don't waste energy on nonsense. Energy is currency, and you are spending it on reactions. Stop. Save your energy for progress. That's the key. You don't need their permission to be calm. You don't need to prove anything. Your silence is your strength. Let your results talk. Now listen. Emotional people are predictable. Disciplined people are unstoppable because nobody can control a disciplined mind. Nobody can manipulate someone who pauses. Pause, think, then act. This one habit will change your life. Your relationships improve. Your decisions improve. Your respect increases because people see you as stable, reliable, strong. That's leadership. You don't need a title to be a leader. Control makes you a leader. Now hear this. Your first reaction is your programming. Your response is your power. Programming comes from your past. Power comes from your present choice. You have a choice. Break the program, upgrade your behavior. That's mental toughness. When someone disrespects you, don't explode, smile, stay calm, let them reveal themselves, you stay focused, that's power. Anger never wins long term, control always does, that's the key. Now ask yourself, who benefits when you lose control, not you? So stop helping your enemies, control your reactions, win quietly, pause, think, then act. Your emotions are tools, use them, don't let them use you. Anger can fuel you, fear can focus you, stress can sharpen you, but only if you control them, otherwise they destroy you. You have a choice, use emotion or be used by it. Choose control. Now remember, mental toughness is not about being hard, it's about being calm in chaos. Storm outside, silence inside, that's real strength. Anybody can shout. Anybody can react. Few can stay calm, be one of the few. That's the key. You mastered action, you left comfort, you built discipline, you controlled your thoughts, you faced pressure. Now you're mastering your emotions. Good, but there is one more layer, consistency. Because reacting once won't change your life, you need habits, daily habits. Because boring habits build extraordinary results. You mastered your reactions, now let's build your routine. Chapter 7, Boring Habits Create Extraordinary Results. Listen carefully. Success is boring. There, I said it, no fireworks, no magic, no shortcuts, just the same actions done every day. That's the key. People fail because they want excitement, they want motivation, they want hype, they want quick wins, but winners, they fall in love with routine. Say it with me. Boring done daily becomes greatness. Again, boring done daily becomes greatness. You have a choice. Chase excitement or build consistency. Excitement fades. Consistency compounds. That's power. Look at fitness. Same exercises, same reps, same sweat day after day. No drama, no excitement. But over time, strength, muscle, confidence. That's the result. Not from one workout, but from thousands. Boring reps. Business is the same. Same calls, same emails, same work every day. Learning is the same books, same practice, same mistakes. Over and over. Boring. But that's how greatness is built. Boring done daily becomes greatness. Most people quit because it feels repetitive. They say, this is boring. This isn't exciting anymore. Good, that means you're doing it right. Because real progress doesn't feel exciting, it feels ordinary. That's the key. You don't need their permission to stick to your routine. You don't need applause for showing up. Discipline is quiet. Nobody claps for consistency. But consistency builds legends. You have a choice, be entertained or be elite. Entertainment feels good, but it doesn't change your life. Discipline does. It's not about talent, it's about discipline. It's not about motivation, it's about habits. That's the key. Most people overestimate what they can do in a week and underestimate what they can do in a year. Why? Because they don't stay consistent. They start, they stop, they disappear. That's average. Winners, they don't stop. They show up even when it's boring, especially when it's boring. Because boring days separate the serious from the fake. Boring done daily becomes greatness. Now listen. Habits shape identity. What you do daily becomes who you are. Train daily, you become an athlete. Read daily, you become knowledgeable. Work daily, you become successful. Skip daily, you become average. You have a choice. Your habits are writing your future. Write wisely. That's the key. Stop chasing motivation. Build systems. A system doesn't care how you feel. It runs. That's discipline. Set a time. Do the work. No negotiation. Morning, evening, whatever works, but lock it in. A consistency beats intensity. 1 hour daily beats 10 hours once. That's the formula. Small steps every day, small progress compounds, and one day you wake up different, stronger, smarter, sharper, not because of talent, because of habits. Boring done daily becomes greatness. Now let me be real, boring feels pointless at first. You don't see results, you don't feel progress. That's where most quit. They say, this isn't working. No, it is working, you just can't see it yet. Growth is silent, like a seed underground. You water it daily, you see nothing. But one day, boom, growth. But only if you didn't quit. That's the key. You have a choice. Trust the process or trust your feelings. Feelings lie, process works. That's discipline. You don't need their permission to stay focused. You don't need validation to repeat the basics. Basics build empires. Advanced is just basic done longer. That's the truth. People want secrets. There are none, just habits. Early mornings. A clean eating, focused work, Daily learning, boring but powerful. Most people won't do boring. That's why most people stay average. Be different. Embrace boring. That's mental toughness. Boring done daily becomes greatness. Now here's your instruction. Pick 3 habits, just 3. Fitness. Learning, work, lock them in same time every day, no matter what. Rain, mood, stress, do it anyway. Discipline is doing it anyway. Track it. Mark your calendar. Don't break the chain. Because once you break it, it gets easier to break again. Protect your streak. That's the key. Your habits are your vote for the person you want to become. Vote daily. Now think about your life. Where are you inconsistent? Gym, business, sleep, food. That's your weak point. Fix it, one habit at a time. Don't do everything. Do something every day. That's power. You have a choice. Be perfect or be consistent. Choose consistent. Perfect doesn't exist. Consistency wins. That's the key. Let me say this. Your future is hidden in your daily routine. Not in your dreams, not in your plans, in your habits. You can lie to others, but your habits never lie. They show who you really are, so upgrade them. Because boring habits build extraordinary lives. Boring done daily becomes greatness. Remember that. Now connect this to everything you learned. You took action, you left comfort, you built discipline, you controlled your mind, you faced pressure, you mastered reactions. All of that means nothing without consistency. Consistency is the glue. It holds everything together. Without it, you fall apart. With it, you become unstoppable. That's the key. So from today, stop chasing excitement. Stop waiting for motivation. Fall in love with routine, because routine will build your future. Boring reps every day. That's how you win. You mastered habits. Good, but now you must look around you, because your environment is either helping you or hurting you. You built the habits. Now let's control what influences them. Chapter 8. Your environment is programming you. Listen closely. Your environment is controlling you, not your goals, not your plans. Your environment, that's the key. Every sound you hear, every screen you watch, every person you talk to, it's programming your mind. Like software, you have a choice. Let your environment control you or control your environment. Change your environment, change your life. Say it again. Change your environment, change your life. Most people never think about this. They blame motivation, they blame luck, they blame circumstances. No, your surroundings are shaping your behavior. That's the truth. Look at your phone. What do you watch? Drama, gossip, complaints, negativity. That's programming you. You can't consume poison and expect power. That's the key. Look at the people around you. Do they complain? Do they gossip? Do they make excuses? Energy drains. Negative people steal your focus. They normalize weakness. And you slowly become like them. You have a choice. Stay around energy vampires or upgrade your circle. You don't need their permission to grow. You don't need approval to leave low standards. That's discipline. It's not about loyalty, it's about standards. It's not about comfort, it's about growth. That's the key. Winners change environments. They don't argue with reality. They don't try to convince broken people to dream bigger. They move new rooms, new conversations, new expectations. Change your environment, change your life. If you want to read more, remove distractions, delete trash content, unfollow nonsense. Follow growth, podcasts, books, leaders. Feed your mind. What you feed grows. Starve distractions. That's discipline. Now listen, your room matters. Messy room, messy mind. Clean space creates focus. Organize your life. That's not random, it's strategy. Environment shapes behavior. You don't rise to your goals, you fall to your standards. And standards are built by environment. That's the key. Look at your workplace. Is it chaos, noise, distraction? Fix it. Headphones, quiet, focus. Protect your energy. Your attention is your currency. Stop wasting it. You have a choice. Scroll mindlessly or build purposefully. Entertainment drains, education builds. It's not about fun, it's about growth. That's discipline. Now let's get real. Your environment includes your thoughts. Yes, your inner talk. Are you negative, doubting, self-hating? That's programming. Change your language. Stop saying I can't. Say I will learn. That's power. Speak strength. Your words shape your identity. That's the key. Now here's your instruction. Audit your environment. Write it down. People, media, places. Ask, does this make me stronger or weaker? If weaker, remove it. No emotion, no drama, discipline. Change your environment, change your life. Your friends matter. Show me your friends and I'll show you your future. If they drink every weekend, you will too. If they train, you will too. Energy transfers, choose wisely. You don't need their permission to evolve. Growth makes people uncomfortable. Let them be uncomfortable. That's the price of success. It's not about fitting in, it's about standing out. That's discipline. Your social media matters. If your feed is garbage, your mind is garbage. Harsh, but true. Clean it. Follow builders, creators, leaders. Let success become normal. That's programming. Now look at your home. Do you have books, motivation? Goals written, or is it empty? Decorate your mind. Quotes, goals, vision. Remind yourself daily. Because discipline needs reminders. That's the key. Most people fail not because they're weak, but because their environment is weak. They sit around losers and expect to win. Doesn't work. You can't grow in poison. Change your environment, change your life. Say it again. Change your environment, change your life. Now understand this. At first it will feel lonely. You'll outgrow people. You'll feel different. Good. That means you're leveling up. Growth is lonely, but lonely is better than average. That's discipline. You have a choice, comfort crowd or growth circle. Choose growth. It's not about being popular, it's about being powerful. That's the key. Stop hanging where your future isn't welcome. Go where your dreams are normal. Now here's a challenge. For 7 days, no negativity, no gossip, no complaining. If someone starts, leave. Protect your mind. Because once negativity enters, focus leaves. That's how it works. Environment wins over willpower. That's science. Make winning easy. Make losing hard. Design your life. Remove junk food. Eat clean. Remove lazy friends. Meet builders. Remove trash content. Consume growth. Simple but powerful. Change your environment. Change your life. Now think, what's draining you right now? A person, a place, a habit. Cut it today. No delay, no excuse. Discipline is immediate. That's the key. Your future self is begging you to upgrade your environment. Listen to him because he knows what you can become. You don't need their permission to change your circle. You don't need approval to raise standards. People hate growth because it reminds them they didn't try. That's their problem, not yours. It's not about being rude, it's about being focused. That's discipline. Remember this. You can't build a strong mind in a weak environment. You can't grow around small thinking. You can't become elite in average rooms. Change people, change inputs. Change your life, that's the formula. No motivation needed, just action. Boring, yes. Effective, absolutely. Change your environment, change your life. Now connect this to everything you learned. You built habits, you stayed consistent, but habits need the right environment to survive. Bad environment kills good habits. Good environment makes discipline easy. That's the key. So today, design your life, remove distractions, add growth, protect your energy. Because your mind is your weapon, keep it sharp. You mastered your environment. Good, but now you must master how you talk to yourself, because the voice in your head can either build you or destroy you. Chapter 9, Pain is the price of growth. Listen carefully. Growth hurts, that's the truth. Every level costs pain, physical, mental, emotional, no exceptions, no shortcuts. No pain, no progress. Say it again, no pain, no progress. You want a better body, pain. You want a stronger mind, pain. You want success, pain. That's the deal. Most people quit when pain starts. That's why they stay average. You have a choice, run from pain or use it. That's the key. Pain is not your enemy, pain is your teacher. Pain shows where you must grow. Avoiding pain is avoiding progress. Understand this. Muscles grow by tearing, they break down, then rebuild stronger. Same with your mind. Stress breaks old thinking. Pressure forces adaptation. That's growth. No pain, no progress. Look at your life. Where are you avoiding discomfort? Gym, work. Hard conversations. That avoidance is costing you greatness. You have a choice. Stay weak or suffer to grow. That's discipline. It's not about comfort, it's about becoming powerful. That's the key. Pain means you're upgrading. If you're hurting, good, it means change is happening. But weak minds interpret pain as danger. Strong minds see it as progress. Reframe pain. Pain equals progress. Say it. Pain equals progress. Now let's talk real. Every successful person paid in pain, early mornings, late nights. Lonely weekends, they missed parties, they lost friends, pain, but they gained power. That's the trade. You don't get growth without sacrifice. You don't get discipline without discomfort. No pain, no progress. Now here's the mistake. People think pain should disappear. No, pain changes shape, new levels, new problems, bigger goals, bigger stress. Growth never gets easy, you get stronger, that's the difference. Stop praying for an easy life, pray for a strong mind, that's discipline, you have a choice. Ask for comfort or ask for growth. Choose growth. It will hurt. Good, that means it's working. That's the key. Look at athletes. They train when muscles scream. They push when lungs burn. Why? Because pain creates champions. Same rule for life. When your mind says stop, that's when growth starts. Don't listen. Push. Discipline is doing it anyway. Now understand this. Pain today prevents regret tomorrow. Regret hurts worse. Living with what if is torture. Choose pain now over regret later. That's power, no pain, no progress. Say it again, no pain, no progress. Your comfort is lying to you. It says rest. Wait, tomorrow. Lies, comfort keeps you small. Pain expands you. You must seek it, not reckless pain, strategic pain, gym, learning, discipline, voluntary suffering. That's elite mindset. Weak people suffer from laziness. Strong people suffer from effort. Choose your suffering, that's the key. It's not about avoiding pain, it's about choosing the right pain. Discipline pain or regret pain. You decide, now listen, your emotions will scream, your mind will resist, your body will beg, ignore them, they are not leaders, you choose your actions, you have a choice, quit or continue, that moment defines you. Character is built when nobody sees, in silence, in pain, that's where warriors are made. Now practical instruction, every day do one hard thing, just one, cold shower, extra reps. Study longer, train your pain tolerance. Because life will test you anyway. Better to be prepared, that's discipline. Stop avoiding difficult conversations. Say what needs to be said, it will hurt. Good, that's growth. Stop avoiding responsibility. Take ownership, it will hurt. Good, that's power. No pain, no progress. Now understand this. Pain is temporary, regret is permanent. Burn that into your mind. Pain fades, regret stays. Choose wisely. You have a choice. Be uncomfortable now or unhappy later. That's the key. Your future self is watching. He's asking, did you choose pain or comfort? Make him proud. Pain builds respect from yourself. That matters more than applause. Stop seeking easy wins. Build real strength. Because when real problems come, only discipline survives. Comfort people collapse. Pain-trained minds adapt. That's the difference. No pain, no progress, say it. No pain, no progress. Now remember, you don't grow in your comfort zone, you grow in your stretch zone. That zone feels scary. Good. That's where transformation lives. Fear plus pain equals evolution. That's the formula, embrace it. Now I want you to visualize your old self, weak, lazy, undisciplined. Pain kills him, let it, don't protect that version. He's holding you back. Growth requires death. Death of bad habits, death of excuses. Pain is the weapon, use it, that's the key. Stop complaining. Pain is proof you're alive. Pain is proof you're trying. Weak people complain, strong people adapt. It's not about how hard it is, it's about how bad you want it. That's discipline. Now think, what are you running from? Face it today, no delay, because the longer you wait, the harder it gets. Pain compounds, but so does progress. Start now, one step, one rep, one page. Momentum builds, but it starts with discomfort. No pain, no progress. Say it one more time. No pain, no progress. Now connect this to your journey. You controlled your mind, you built habits, you changed environment. Good. But all of it requires pain. Consistency hurts, discipline hurts, growth hurts, but it's worth it always, because on the other side is confidence. Power, respect from yourself, that's priceless. You mastered pain, good. Now it's time to master something even harder, your ego, because ego destroys everything you build. Chapter 10, become the person who never quits. Listen closely. Quitting is a habit, finishing is a habit. You have a choice. Which one will define you? That's the key. Most people quit. They quit when it's hard. They quit when it's uncomfortable. They quit when results take longer than expected. They quit over and over until quitting becomes who they are. But winners finish what they start. They adjust. They adapt. They keep moving forward. Say it with me. Finish what you start. Again, finish what you start. Quitting is not failure. Quitting is a choice. And choices become your identity. You have a choice. Be a quitter or be someone who endures. That's discipline. Listen, it's not about talent. It's not about luck. It's about relentless consistency. Life will get hard, obstacles will appear, people will doubt you, the world will push you down, and that's when most quit. But you don't quit, you rise, you adjust, you figure it out. Winners see problems as puzzles. They don't collapse, they analyze, they find a way. It's not about being perfect. It's about being persistent. It's about not giving up. You have a choice. Stay frustrated or solve the problem. That's the key. Look at any successful person. Every one of them has been in the trenches. Every one of them faced moments where quitting seemed easy, yet they didn't quit, they finished. They endured, they became unstoppable. Finish what you start. You don't need permission from anyone to continue. You don't need approval to persist. Your identity is built in those moments when nobody is watching, when the work is hardest, when pain is loud. Finish what you start. This is mental toughness. Now let's get real. Quitting feels good in the moment. It feels safe. It feels relieving, but regret lasts forever. You know that feeling. You've experienced it. That I should have kept going pain, that's worse than temporary struggle, much worse. You have a choice. Choose temporary struggle or permanent regret. That's the key. Here's how you become the person who never quits. Step 1. Reframe failure. Failure is information. Failure is feedback. Failure is a signal to adjust, not a reason to quit. Step 2. Break the task into small wins. Overwhelm makes quitting tempting. Small victories keep momentum alive. Step by step, rep by rep, task by task. Step 3. Anchor your identity. Say it daily. I am someone who finishes what I start. Say it until your mind believes it. Your identity drives your behavior, not motivation, not inspiration. Finish what you start. Here's the truth. When it gets hard, it always gets harder. That's life. The difference is who pushes through. Weak people quit. Strong people persist. Average people complain. Extraordinary people adjust and continue. You have a choice. Quit or grow. That's the key. It's not about comfort. It's about discipline. It's not about the easy path. It's about finishing anyway. You will feel fatigue. You will feel doubt. You will feel fear. Ignore them. They are temporary. Your results are permanent. Finish what you start. Let me give you real-world examples. Athletes train when their bodies scream. Writers type through resistance. Entrepreneurs push through failures. Every time they persist, they create momentum. Momentum is unstoppable. Momentum kills quitting. You have a choice. Start and stop or start and finish. That's the key. Quitting is contagious. Hang around quitters, you'll quit too. Finishing is contagious. Hang around finishers, you'll persist too. Choose your environment. Choose your circle. Choose your identity. Finish what you start. And remember, finishing doesn't mean doing it perfectly. It means doing it fully. It means showing up. It means continuing until the task is complete. That's the difference between dreamers and achievers, between talkers and doers, between ordinary and elite. You have a choice. Be ordinary or extraordinary. That's the key. Every challenge you face is a test of identity. Who are you when it's hard, when it's painful, when nobody is cheering? Quit or finish. Finish what you start. Every small step builds character. Every extra rep builds resilience. Every day you persist builds unshakable strength, and that strength compounds over weeks, over months, over years, until quitting is no longer an option because your identity doesn't allow it. Finish what you start. Now here's your instruction. Pick one area of your life where quitting is tempting: your workout, your business, your learning, your relationship. Decide, no matter what, I finish this, even when it's painful. Even when it's inconvenient, even when it takes longer than expected. Finish. That's discipline. That's mental toughness. That's who winners are. Say it again. Finish what you start. No excuses, no complaints, no delays. Finish. And once you do, the world begins to respect you, not because you shouted, not because you demanded it, but because you became unbreakable. Quitting is optional. Finishing is inevitable. You have a choice. Which one will you choose? Finish what you start. Now connect this to everything you've learned in this audiobook. You built action over fear. You left your comfort zone, you mastered discipline, you controlled your mind, you leveraged pressure, you responded instead of reacting, you built boring habits, you optimized your environment, you endured pain. All of this leads to one truth: finish. What you start, it's not optional anymore. It's who you are. You are no longer a quitter. You are relentless. You are unstoppable. You are disciplined. Finish what you start, and with that, you are ready to take everything you've learned and apply it to life. Not tomorrow, not next week. Today, finish what you start. That's the key. You are the person who never quits. You are the warrior. You are the builder. You are unstoppable. Finish what you start. You now understand the truth. Mental toughness is a skill, a muscle, and muscles only grow under resistance. You don't need motivation. You need discipline. You don't need confidence. You need action. It's every day when it gets hard, you lean in. When you want to quit, you go further. When your mind says stop, you say not today. This is your challenge. For the next 30 days, do one hard thing daily. No excuses, no delays. Build your mental toughness. Build your future. Start now. If you want more strategies to master your mind, build discipline, and become unstoppable, hit that subscribe button now. Don't wait, your future self will thank you.